am Fitz Koehler from fitzness.com, and I'm here with the incredible Joe Taricani from the Marathon Show. How are you doing, Joe?
Oh, I'm loving it. You loving California?
We're in Newport Beach, and it's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful scenery here. Don't you love it back there? Are you a little bit jealous?
Joe goes, let's go shoot near a cliff. And I said, okay, because we don't have cliffs in Florida.
Right.
None at all. So tell my audience who maybe hasn't learned about the Marathon Show yet, tell them what it's about.
Well, the Marathon Show is about marathons, marathon running. I get that question all the time. We go out to marathons and half marathons around the United States and do shows. We broadcast at expos and we broadcast out on the race course, actually running marathons and half marathons and broadcasting the show while we do it. The content out there is amazing. The stories are great, the scenery is incredible, and there are a lot of laughs in a marathon.
Yeah, and you do make it fun. So he does marathons, but he also covers half marathons, smaller races. And he talks to the big wigs, the important, everybody's important at a race, but talks to the big wigs, but then also gets out in the crowd and just talks to the everyday runner.
Well, if you look at a bell curve, everybody knows what that is the majority of runners that do marathons and half marathons are average. And all those
totally average over here.
Exactly. All those average runners have great stories, great compelling stories, and they're the ones that we love to talk about. Certainly talking about the elites and Olympians and so on is great. We love that. But talking about you and what you do out there and your journey to the start line of a marathon is amazing. And if you've never done one and you say that you can't do one, I can find 10 people with your exact same circumstances that worked their way to a marathon start line, and now it's changed their life.
Yeah, and so you make it fun, and he's so funny. This is the goofiest guy ever, so I love watching your show because it makes me giggle, but you feature the coolest products available at the expo, so
Right.
If you're a runner and you're maybe getting chafed or you have the wrong shoes, Joe's always introducing new cool equipment to the audience. And then, what are your favorite races? I know you do so many, but I'm not going to ask what your favorite is, but give me some cool ones if people want a destination race.
It's the question that everybody asks me, and I always answer by saying it's the race that I'm doing today. But I will tell you that if you've never done a marathon or a half marathon, going to a destination location is really ideal. Those make for a great setup for a marathon. What comes to mind immediately is San Francisco. The San Francisco Marathon in July. Really hard to find marathons or half marathons in the summer months in the United States, but San Francisco is a great one. The Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. is epic.
Well, you know why? Because there's a bunch of Marines there.
Well,
that's good enough reason for me to go anywhere. Give me some Marines.
And I'm not leaving out New York or Chicago or Boston. Those are obvious ones. Those are just terrific, special in every way. Los Angeles Marathon is a great race. It will be a world major in the not too distant future. But another one, a sleeper that I love that I did just last year for the very first time, the Minneapolis Twin Cities Marathon. It was without a doubt the best marathon course I have ever run.
Really? How so?
Well, there wasn't 100 feet on that course that wasn't perfect in some way, either with trees or people or scenery or some kind of a setting, and great organization, and they served hot chicken soup at the finish line.
You know what's so funny is
and more rolls.
I'm a grouchy runner if I get hungry, so it's always at mile 9, and I'm like, I need to get to a snack. And if there's a really good snack waiting at the finish line, that can make all the difference in the world, right?
It was great, yeah.
And a medal. You need a really good medal.
Well, of course, marathons, they've learned that people do like to chase medals, and Bling, we call it Bling, and so medals become very important. And some people run races only to get the medal because they want that medal so badly, and it becomes a very proud display piece at their house.
That's right. Well, I was telling the racers yesterday, or the runners, wear your medal today. You can take it off for a shower, but then put it back on and keep wearing it until everybody you know has seen you wear it, and make sure that's your new profile picture.
Well,
for
first-time marathoners always should wear their medal for the next week.
At least.
At least. Half marathon or marathon. I use that word interchangeably.
That's right.
You should wear it for a week to work and so on. And if you're traveling home from the race, it should be worn at the airport while you're getting on the plane because you just did something extraordinary. You need to take advantage of that and let people know what a great accomplishment you've just had in your life.
Well, especially as adults, when do we get a chance to do stuff like that? Our kids get trophies and medals all the time. I think it's pretty cool in my 30s that I can go out and win a medal. Look, Mom, look what I did.
Yeah, and the medal that you win looks just like the one that was given to the person that won the entire race. And that's
Right.
a very special thing about marathons is that we get to go out there and run on the exact same course as the Olympians at the exact same time. That doesn't happen in Augusta. That will not happen at the US Open tennis. But in marathons, they line up and we line up right behind them, and then off we go.
So what's next? Where are you going next?
I think San Diego for me next, the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, half marathon in June, and then probably San Francisco Marathon in July, as I said. And then, of course, marathon season starts all over again in September. So off we go for another marathon season.
That's why I love seeing you out on a race course because you're always out there with your equipment. You got your marathon show stick in the air, and it's hard enough to run a race with, just to run it, but without carrying all this stuff. But you really make it fun, and you make all the runners feel special.
Well, I take my time. I don't hurry around out there, but for sure. But carrying a microphone and a stick and a sign that says that I'm on air, and then two cameras, one still and one video camera, it makes it fun. And you know what?
I'm going to interrupt you because not only does he do that, but yesterday during the OC Marathon, which was completely awesome, he stopped for coffee and donuts midway.
Well, you know what? You got to have a little something along the way. You got to have a little coffee with the fans out there, and it's good to get out there and mix it up. And that's one of the things that I like most about the marathon show and marathon running is that there are very serious runners. There's, of course, Olympians. There are people that are very competitive in the races, but there's a whole lot of people out there that take their phone and their cameras and they do a lot of fun stuff. And so stopping and having a coffee along the way, not a problem. I don't worry about my finish time. I just worry about the finish line and getting there and then celebrating with all of my friends.
So I'm going to start working on convincing you to maybe do a water and a kind bar in the future. But whatever, coffee and donuts yesterday didn't get you killed. Well, I love your show. I think it's so much fun, and it's great for not only watching the elites, but watching everybody. And I think it inspires more people to get moving out there. So.
Well, thank you, Fitz, and thanks for coming to California. Thanks.